The listed names are the names of different over that's Lagu Angelo and the wife and the 4 kids who are actually which are company together. I think you can see down there there's Himba, the Uber, and the other side is the right side is me, Waine, and the other one is Lagu Angelo. So we're standing there at the front of the church, London, Ontario. And then that's him. I think he's alone in his building and units. Others keeps late, I think. You can see. And here he's standing on the front door of the building we are residing. That's 2004. That's him and the children and the 2 children. And here that's his entire family. I think the wife and the 4 kids. I think that is 2004. And their names those ones, you can see those are their names. Their names are listed down here by pen. I just write them their names with a pen. Therefore, that's from the area Kakuma, Nairobi, Kenya, and that's Nairobi International Airport, and that's Toronto International Airport, 2004. Actually, it has been quite long, as I said. We've been battling between the January 1st ages, and my age is January 1st, therefore is to be reduced every year. And since that's the situation, so I was facing battles between them, and I want to balance myself down, and then the guy is a little bit crazy, and he's doing his things with the families, I'm doing my things with myself. And I have a roommate, and that's my roommate, 2004. My roommate is a white man. He's from Afghanistan, Iraq, and that's and I met him here 2004, the day he went into the 27th of January 2004. So that's Nairobi, and then I was brought to a global house with him, and then this is our unit, which we are renting with him, and he's renting 1 bedroom, I'm renting also 1 bedroom, and this family, they're next door. I think they are residing next door. I think the 5 of them there, I think 6 of them are they're next door. So they're next doors actually. They're residing next door, and we are next doors. Since we came together, our flight is in one paper, so we are just as a one family, because it will be a help for me to get assistance from them, and for me to be able to compensate chats with them, and we will be able to talk with them, because those are children. They're all men. His children are men. I think they're boys. The other one is more or less my age, and the other one is standing is more or less my age. I think the one with pink jacket. I think the other one is next. The one sitting here, and the other one is next. And this one there. I suppose we'll be together with them. That's the reason I was combined with in the same flat with them. But we were battling a case with the police, and then there is a police case. That's why the police said we cannot breach probations, and for sure I stay away from breaching probations, and I was understanding the government situations, how it works, because he's there with families and without families. I just completed my school from Uganda, and then whatever I was teaching in Kenya, I'm volunteering. I'm this 18 years old, and a teacher in Kenya, I think 18 years old. And I came as 18 years old, I think on the paper 17 years. And then I started the the immigration case, I was 17 years, 16 years. Therefore, I think when I was coming, that's 18 years old in 2004. So that's the reasons I was enrolled as a teacher, volunteer, and in Kakuma, and that's the situation. And I have my certificates down there. You can see the other area from Uganda, and from Uganda, I think this one from Uganda. That's the situation down there, and then the rest there from here, Canada. That's the situation. So for him, I think for him, he owned a diploma from Juba University. I think his diploma is he has been enrolled many times as a staffs. He's been employed in Africa. I guess because he's an educated guy, and whatever the family is, they're not educated enough. He's an educated guy, and he owned a company. I think his company is paper. That's what he's working, and I have no idea. And since that's the situations, and I will live with them 2004, and we've been this building. And then from there we moved with them to the other building 2005, and we've been together. 2006 we've been together, and then we've been fighting a lot, and then that's why I just moved along to Conclave, and I took Conclave apartments. I was residing there. And then those families, I left them down there, but sometimes I'm giving assistance. I can carry them food and do down there, and then things like that. But they moved to Windsor, and then they were residing in Windsor, I think. And in third edition 2007, and those are my friends from Windsor. Those are my good friends. They are white men. They are Mexicans friends I have, and those are the guys we are clapping in the club. I think you can see we are with them in the club. I think that's all my friends. And this one is also my roommate. He's my friend, and he's a young man like them. And that's 2007. I think I'm in Windsor. But I did a review with them, with the families, his families, but I cannot stay with them, and then I become alone, and then I stay in Windsor. Then from Windsor I moved to Tradition, to Calgary. I was employed, and I'm working, and as I said, I have a surgery, and then from surgeries I got serving for 3 months, and then from there I got deported back to London to stay idle, because the doctors suspected that I have mental illness. Then the mental illness may cause impairment, and then may cause some other delusional cases. You know what a delusional means in terms of mental illness. That's what they're referring. But that's the case in areas, and then because there is things which there's some people they're saying they can see things which other people doesn't see. That's the scenarios, and I have my situation. So I'm working, and then as I came back to London, I said I was enrolled as a 3 roles guys, and we've been battling 3 roles cases. And then till I got a unit, and then from my unit, and then I also have problems, and then the problems is different. I lost everything, and then what they call as a recession. So recession is recovery. Recession is recovery from danger. Okay, and you have to begin over again. That's what is a lost properties, such as from there. My situation was matched with this kind of goodwill property which collapsed, and then the other property on New York and right out, I think, and Heidi Park. You know, those heavy areas. There are a lot of loss worldwide. I think that's a big recession. That's why the whole thing started again. I lost my car dealerships, and then I begin with this company after the recessions. After I reset myself, and then I begin all over again. That's the company I come up with in 2011, 2012, and then 2020. Still, I'm working today. As you can see, I'm reporting today. That's my page, my working page. I have my work. I'm in my workplace, and I'm in my apartment unit. Therefore, is the citations, because from those citations, I did review with this guy. I call him now this guy because I review, and then they are fighting a lot. That's why the police told us we cannot reach each other. And then he's also busy guy. He's doing his business. The family is also doing their business. Okay? And then we actually issued that we are not allowed to talk to each other. And then I left them, and then we did all reviews together. I was sent to them, and then in Windsor, I go to their homes, and then I stand outside, and then we review, and then we close that case, and then from London, I was sent to this to this company on Uber, and then this is Lagu Angelo. I think I was sent to his house 2009 during the recession year. Okay, during the start of again here. And then I was sent to his house, and then we were unable to coordinate and live together because his things he's doing his thing different. I'm doing my thing different. That's why I'm writing book a lot with a pen. Whatever I don't have a computer, I'm using a pen and books. I'm writing all the times. My pen doesn't stop writing, and for him he doesn't stop doing his work. Also, he's also daring guy. He's daring the books. He's also daring. He's also busy guy, and therefore they kick us all our ways. And then I went to my own areas. I told him no breach of probation. Let him go back to Africa if you want to live together with me or with those guys. Like we left Kakuma, and then let him go back to Africa. That's why we are not going together with him anymore, and I'm not with him anymore. So Canada is a different situation, different country, different things. That means you cannot combine your business with another guy. And here with the other, his family, the same family with us, we have problems. I think the children they cannot go to school without a vehicle. They have a vehicles, and then the vehicle I own the first vehicle, and then they pre-own the vehicles because they cannot go without the vehicle. They own the vehicle. I think sedan. That's the resident. I owned the vehicle 2004. I think it got broke down when I was working. The car got accident, and then they repair it. I think they pre-owned it. That's their vehicle. And for me, I have nothing to say about that. And then that's their case because whatever I paid insurance before, the insurance I paid was different. And the other car which I've been driving in Calgary is not also my car. That's the other family I've been staying with. They're different families of the Calgary. There's that case, and that's between the 2004 and 2007. We closed that case, and we got reviewed in 2009. And during the recessions here, I lost everything, and I restart all over again. And then I went and reviewed in London with the same guy, and then we stopped the whole thing. That's why we are not together for that reasons. If because in flight ticket we are together, Africa people may say if they're thinking we're still together with these families, but we are not together with these families because we broke up. We are not longer together with these families. We are different. These families, this one, his families, this one's the children and the wife, they're in Windsor, I think. Windsor, Ontario, that's 2 hours away from London, Ontario. I'm talking from London, Ontario. This guy is in London, Ontario. He's doing his businesses. I think it's Uber. Uber store is in London. Whatever not only in London, I have no idea where they are. It's in part of London. But I'm isolated. I'm inside here working, and he's somewhere there working. So that's the situations. If this is IOM for IOM, I'm just reporting for IOM Nairobi. Let them know that this family is there in Windsor. And then this guy is Uber is in London, and we're also in London. I'm not together with them. If it's for IOM cases, always government cases. Because I did not go to take their money, they don't come to take my money. And then whatever I have the information, I have their pictures with on my folders, I have their names written down on my paperwork, my air ticket lines. And then they have my names written all over their ticket lines. They don't come for those money. I don't go for those money. I know that. The government won't pay them. The government won't face to face. The guy is in your house, you pay. The guy not in your house, they don't pay that. I know that. Whatever I report this case, that case is none of your business. You leave them and you leave me. That's a disadvantage and advantage. You understand the bad, you understand the good. That's what it is. We stop that. To consult with these others, this is the others. Otherwise, I'm in Windsor. I'm doing my own things. I have my friends, as I said. Those are my friends, my good friends in Windsor. And then I went alone to Calgary, and those friends also follow. Some of them follow me to Calgary, and they're working in Calgary, I think. And those are we're in the club. I think Windsor clubs. I think with them. The other one is my friend in London, and he's residing in London up to now. I think he's in London. It's not a businessman. Maybe he's working, maybe a businessman. I'm not sure. He's working, but we are not in the same room this day. We left roommate since 2005. I think we've been to 1 year. I think in roommates, and that's the case now. Otherwise, for Kenya, that's the Kenya things, and I have no idea if each one of us will be going back to Kenya or no. Nobody knows. If I got paid tomorrow, 120,000, I'll go back to Kenya. If whatever I get reasonable amount, I'll go back to Kenya. Because why I need more money? I want to go back home and we have what kind of house I left over Kenya? What kind of home I left over Uganda? I think that must be a burnt bricks house, a grass house. It's already rotten house, and I may need a new house to sleep over. I may need everything new. That's why I need a little bit more money. If I go back to Kenya and then the house I've been sleeping is unburnt bricks, and there is no batteries over the roof, and then the house is already rotten. It's already rotten. Therefore, that's the case scenario. If I don't work hard, and then that's the situations. Otherwise, I have also my families down there, and then I may need to go back and visit them, and that's the scenarios. Otherwise, that's particularly the reasons why, the 10 reasons why we are not together. That's the reasons. And to attach to that, I have a phone which I lost, several phones, and this is the only phone they left for me. The phone is abnormal. Can only dial 911, can call only police. They cannot dial out, cannot call nobody. The one which can call has been taken off, and then there is another one I'll have. Is also flashing like the other one, and got taken over by another guy. And I pay several bills. It's over 5,000 bills for the other phone, and over 1,000 dollars for the other phone, and the phone was taken away from me, and the guy ran away with the whole thing. And from there, as I said, from Kakuma, I lost a book. There is another guy behind my chapters. The books I left to my high school books, because those are high school and equivalence orders which I have for my summaries for the school summaries. Then the book was taken over by someone, and then I have my edition, kindergarten graduation certificate, which they take away also. And then that's early childhood education summaries, which has been taken away. And then there is a book of my scheme of work reports, the areas which has been skimming. I skim all the books. That is a big book. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost a big books. Like there are 6 books which I penned it, and then there is another 6 books, and then there is another 3 books. Totally, which is outside teachings. That's to do with teaching summaries from research areas, and then from workshops, and then from meetings, and then there's meetings, and then the books was called All Ears, and which I penned it properly, and then it got adapted off my hand by someone by force, And then when our name was listed out to go to Toronto today, and then there is checkpoints. The book was adapted of it. Those books don't got adapted. And then there is I came back to Canada, and then during the $3 seasons, and then I penned the I editioned I ran the keyboard typing the books. I keyboarded the books as years again, and that was 2008, 2009, and 2010. I mean 2009, 2008, 2009, and before the collapse of 2009, and then as they're taking back to recession year, they failed to take that order back, and then almost reached 2010. Like they know that I still have that big memo, and then I can summarize my $900 trillion, which I want to pay to this country, pay to the other country, pay to the other country, and then pay to wherever possible I can use it. Because $900 trillion is not easy to be beaten off from. Because I take it as advantage. Since I lose car dealerships, that's my benefit. I took it as to replace that car dealerships. And then $900 trillion, whoever will be doing a business will not fear. If I left $900 trillion here for you, you cannot use it all. That will be 9 countries which will be using. If 9 countries use it at the same times, the other one will use $100 trillion, and then you gain back $100 trillion here. And if whatever I use it in Kenya, $100 trillion, and then the $100 trillion go to here, and then we return it back to the company. That's the policy we are handling. And then from there, the whole thing was the memo. They're just confusing the memo so that I can lose everything. That's the scenarios. And then from there, the guy failed to take the order back to where he wanted, and then grabbed my computer away from my hands during the recessions years. And then I lost that book, not morally I lost it, but good enough. There are things like USB. USB stick is a USB stick, which is a flash drive in a floppy base, which can record everything, and still you can take it to another computer and you can survive. It's this kind of scenarios. That's why I have a copy of that order. And then the guy just took my computer, and then I survived my office because of that. I survived that all yearbooks because of that order. And then from there, I just remained with that order. Then I took it to another computer at library. I emailed it and keep a record of that order. And then since the books, the computer books allows it, because the computer books allows it 2009, and then they took the whole thing back to 2008, and then again, because I suffered as $3 for 5 years. Does that mean they took us back to 2008, again back to 2009, again back to 2008, and then back to again, then back to 2009 to 2009, and then the whole thing went to 2010, and then from there, that's when the whole thing came. It was 5 years confusion, which is set up actually. To summarize this one very shortly, as 5 years case. That is a big case because it's not anything free. As I said, if you wanna work, and as I heard this morning, someone says if I'm talking about my 3 billion to 400 millions, which has been expenditures for my African ideologies, and then I lost that criteria, lost that memo, and then the guy says because they want the money to be used in Canada, not to be used over a foreign country. I say that's good enough. If that's the situation, you do know what a developer's developing. A developer is a developer. A developer is from scratch. Someone developed. I can go with $4, and that $4 is not $4. It will become 4,000 somewhere. That's what some business they're doing. It's not $3 for them. It's $3,000 for them. You get $3, and then I get 3,000. That's what they're saying. They write a 3,000 checks. They write you $3 checks. Someone write you $1 checks, and then the other one write down there $1,000 checks. They send the guy with the $1 checks, and then they send the other guy with the $1,000 checks. They earn it. That's why it is. And then if I'm a developer, I develop a company to survive not only with $1 billion over Canada. And if I develop the business for Canada, and then it's not going to help. I came all the way, long ways, to make money. And loser, I'm not going to develop anything. The loser won't benefit. That's why myself, I was mistreated, and I set that decision myself, because if I cannot gain it, who will gain it? That's why Goodwood collapsed, and all those buildings collapsed. And to be very sincere, that's the truth.